Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Ursa Major Build-A-Figure Waves comic book Ultron. And yeah, this is the only figure in this wave that I was really rooting for and I was really excited for, and I finally got one, and oh my goodness, look at that, there is a spider on Ultron. That is kind of creepy. That spider! Anyway, getting into the packaging here, we got the big open window showcasing the figure within. You got the Ursa Major arm in there. You got Marvel's Ultron, Hasbro here on the side. You got the nice comic book image of Ultron here on the top. It does say Marvel Legends. It's got that Ultron logo here. It says Ursa Major Build-A-Figure. That same comic book image on the side, and it's got the same image here on the back as well. And right here, it does say, it's got a little bio here. It says, robot, mechanical genius, scientist experiment gone wrong. Ultron is the supreme weapon of mass destruction and a mortal threat to the Avengers and all humankind. Well, that's pretty cool. And then down here, we got a nice rundown of the wave here. You got a lot of Iron Man related figures in the wave. And honestly, I'm not too interested in a lot of these figures. It was just Ultron that I was really wanting. But anyway, other than that, that is basically it for the packaging. So let's just get right on into the accessories. Here are all of Ultron's accessories. Here he comes with a bunch of pairs of hands, and then he comes with this little blast effect piece. He comes with a wide open clawed hand, which is really good for dramatic poses. And as you can see, they're all picked out in this silver paint, which gives you a bit of a taste of how the figure looks. This figure is one of the most metallic looking masterpieces that I've ever seen. I really love the shiny plastic. You guys know how much I like shiny plastic. And then he does come with a pair of fists, which are also picked out very nicely, and I like those little bits of the knuckles right there. They look very nice. And then he does come with a pair of grabby hands, so you can grab some accessories. He doesn't include any accessories, minus the blast effect, but if you ever need him to hold something, he can have those grabby hands. And then he does come with this little blast effect here, which is meant to invoke that kind of comic book crackling effect that goes in his mouth. And you can, in fact, take the head here and you can stick this in his mouth. You can, in fact, stick this in there, and you can make it look like it's crackling out of his mouth, and that looks pretty cool. That is a very nice look for Ultron. And here is taking a closer look at Ultron's head sculpt. I love that little blast effect in there, but you can just easily remove it, and you can get a better look at his head sculpt. I do like the way how Ultron looks here. He's got some nice piercing red eyes, makes him look very angry. I don't get why he's got the little nostrils right there, but it doesn't make any sense. It's fine. It's a robot. It's comic books. Let's just not question it. I like his big, gaping mouth, and I like how it's even hollow on the side. It makes him look very accurate to the comic book interpretation. And he's got the little antennas. They are a slightly more pliable plastic, so don't worry about those breaking off. And there's some nice mechanical detail going across the top of the head and across the back of the head, so it looks very nice. I like these little shoulder spikes here. Those can give off a nice little flare. And then coming down the body here, as you can see, it's picked out in, I believe, a grayish, silverish plastic, and then they painted over it with silver paint all across the top of the figure. And it looks great. Like, I love the way that this looks. The chest is nice and smooth. It's got this little bit of some panel lining. And there's just little bits of some musculature and some more panel lines going all throughout the figure. And this thing just gleams so well, and I love how metallic he looks. He looks very nice. He does have some little scuffs here and there, but other than that, this guy does not chip very well. And also, pinless joints makes this guy look even more seamless. Like how he's got some pinless joints there. Very nice feet. And then across the bottom, he just got some nice mechanical detail on the bottom of the feet, and I like how the pegs on his ankle boosters are the ones to plug in blast effects. So if you need to plug in blast effects in his feet to make him fly, that can be done. And then again, just some nice mechanical detail with just a little bit of some musculature with some panel lines. And then, if you want to, you can get this guy to hold the blast effect in his hand. If you just kind of finagle it in there, you can get him to hold the blast effect, like he's like doing some kind of dramatic like monologue, and he has like his hand start crackling up, or I don't know. But anyway, getting into the posability here, he's got a ball joint, and he's got the ball joint and hinge at the head, which allows him to look up very far, which is really good for flying poses. He can look down very far. The head can rotate a full 360. It can pivot a little bit from side to side, and it can shift forward and back a tiny bit, so pretty good. Now there's these little shoulder pads, which are separate moving pieces, so the shoulders can rotate a full 360 even with the shoulder pads. They can hinge up that far. They can hinge down. He does get a bicep swivel. Double jointed pinless elbows. Wrists do hinge and hinge up and down. And all of the wrists rotate as well. He gets a nice diaphragm joint right in there, which allows for a nice arcing back, a crunch, diaphragm pivot. You can rotate at the diaphragm, but he does have a waist proper. Hips move up that far, they do move back that far. Hips move outward. He does get a upper thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knee. And then he does get a calf rotation. Ankles move up, they do move down, and he's got some very nice ankle pivot. So very nice articulation on this guy. This guy's been a real blast to pose around. Here he is with the MCU Marvel's 10 years Ultron figure. So anyway, that is basically it for that. And that is basically it for my review on the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure Waves comic book Ultron. And I absolutely love this figure. Minus the spider. This figure has some great mechanical detail, even though it's just limited to just a few panel lines, but he's got the nice detail at the bottom of the boots and on the head. Like, this figure is simplistic, but there's a charm to his simplicity, and just the sheer amount of paint that is on this figure that makes him really gleam and pop. Even when he was in the packaging, when he's here in person, like, he just really stands out. And he's that classic comic book Ultron that I always thought was the coolest comic book design for a Marvel character. And I absolutely adore this figure. Even though he doesn't include any handheld accessories, they still included the little crackle effect for all the different kinds of hands you need. And it just creates for a nice Marvel Legends posing experience and playing with this figure. And I don't say that about a lot of figures. This guy really is enjoyable to play with, even as old as I am. And yeah, I do like the figure. If you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like on the video. If I had to give this figure a rating, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, I haven't rated him yet. If I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 9 out of 10. My only complaint is I wish that he could just I wish he just came with like some blast effects for his feet, or maybe just like a handheld accessory. Maybe I'm just grasping for complaints, but I'm really happy with this figure. This is probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends of this year. So anyway, that is basically it for my review on Ultron. If you guys liked the video, be sure to leave a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Marvel Legends and other reviews. And also, be sure to check out, for bonus content, check the links in the description to my Instagram and my second channel. And I'll catch you guys next time.